So guys, here it is, the new MJJC Pro V3. There's been a little bit of controversy about this thing, about the quality of the bottle, and that's what we're here to talk about today. All right, guys, so the time has finally come. We're finally going to discuss the brand new MJJC Pro version 3. Now, MJJC has a few different categories in their lineup. They have the S line, and then above that, they have the Pro line. So in the past, we've had the Pro V2. That's version 2. Nice, indestructible or semi-indestructible. Obviously, everything's destructible. You can definitely break it. But it has a nice HDPE bottle that is very, very robust. I've dropped it out of the back of my truck a few times, no issues. Now, I traditionally don't drop my foam cannons, so that's never a huge issue to me. But I will say with this one, we were hoping for this.
Don't hurt yourself now. Can't do it.
And it seems like we got this. Now, my good friend Keeve with the Cars with Keeve YouTube channel got his hands on this thing very, very early. He always does a drop test with all of his foam cannons. This one, his first drop was empty, shoulder length, and it broke. So not great, right? That was probably the least durable of all the foam cannons. Now, this one's coming in at a premium price here, guys. $109 is the MSRP. Okay, let's go back real quick, just really quickly to talk about the classifications of the MJJC lineup. The S and then the Pro, right? So we talked about the Pro V2. Let's talk about the SV3. The SV3 came with a PET bottle, clear bottle, a new head design which matched the foam production of the Pro V2. So equal there. The difference was that they added this quick quarter turn connection, which is industry leading. Everyone else that has a kind of a quick turn connection, the MJJC's is so far above and ahead of everyone else's. It's really, really nice. Now, with the Pro V3, they basically took a hybrid of those two units. They upgraded the head of the unit also to stainless steel, although there are still some brass components. And then they changed the bottle to that quick turn connection. So really, really nice. Still a nice wide base. It's actually more than 1,000 milliliters of capacity. And I actually did a test with that too, guys. I'll show you that here.
All right, guys, really quickly, I wanted to test the capacity of the bottle because if you look on the side here, it lists more than 1,000 milliliters or 1 liter. The 1,000 milliliter mark is right here, and then you have this extra space. On the packaging, it states to fill the depending on your soap, but with the MJJC soap, they recommend 900 milliliters of water, 100 milliliters of the soap. So, and then you would still have all this leftover size. You could either fill it up, I guess, and get more capacity, or you could leave that. I know Jamie the cleaner likes to leave a little bit of airspace in there. He thinks it creates a little more foam, which does make sense. Gives you a little more ability there. I always fill it all the way up, or at least most of the way up. Usually I put my soap in it and then fill, and it kind of foams up. But I wanted to test the capacity. So 1 liter is 33.8 ounces. We have some Kirkland brand water here. These are 16.9 ounces. Obviously, it may not be 100% correct, right? But a rough estimate here. I just want to fill this up. Obviously, 2 of these, we should be at the maximum at the 1,000 milliliters. And with one of them, we should be at half. So let's check the capacity and see how accurate it is all the way through. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour 1 in right now. There we go. Let's see what it says. We should be at technically 500 milliliters.
Wow, that's encouraging. It is spot on. It is exactly accurate. Now, if you look at the distance from 100 to 500, it's much smaller than the distance from 500 to 1,000. That's because the bottle tapers as it comes up. So let's see here. We'll go another one. Pour that in. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Yeah, it's spot on. 1,000 milliliters. So 33.9 ounces. As far as the measurement goes, they knocked it out of the park. So as you can see, the bottle measurements are extremely accurate. Very, very nice. What does this thing come with? Obviously, it comes with all the internals that you need. It comes with a spare set of filters. It comes with a 1.25 orifice installed. It comes with a 1.1 and a 1.35. But like I said, from what we've seen on the bottle, it's not great. There's definitely some issues with it, and that's really what I want to talk about. So guys, let me tell you really quickly my experience with this thing. I did a bunch of tests with it. Foam production was great. Was it any better than the Pro V2 or the SV3? If it is, it's very hard to tell. It's just marginal. They already get so much foam that it's really hard to tell. Now, like I said, you do get the upgraded stainless steel components. I reached out to the factory, and that is where the added cost is. They said it's because of the stainless steel, it increased all the pricing on this thing. Again, $109 now. However, with that, you still have brass on the connection point, some brass there, and then you also have the orifice inside, which is still brass. So was it necessary? I don't know. I don't necessarily mind that, because I know in some cases certain metals can kind of seize on each other, right? So brass to stainless steel, it doesn't bother me. Again, the old saying that someone commented on one of my videos a long time ago was that the US Navy uses brass on their ships, so brass is fine with me. And I completely agree with that statement. The added stainless steel, definitely an upgrade to it. It's very nice, so that's all great. Again, the bottle is what we really, really need to talk about. So if you remember, I did a video about this thing, I don't know, at least a year ago when they finally sent out some teasers of this thing. Now, the reason they had held back on it, from my understanding, was that this bottle is painted, right? And they were having some issues with the paint adhering properly to the unit. So they didn't want to release it. They didn't want to release something that wasn't ready, that wasn't going to get the best result. They addressed that issue. But aside from the paint now working perfectly, the bottle is not strong enough. My first experience with this thing, I used it. It was great. I placed it on a little shelf that I have. I was moving my hose around, pulled it, it knocked it off, and it broke, guys. First time using it immediately. So I immediately reached back out to the factory, and I said, okay, so what's going on with this? Because I obviously invest a lot of money with these guys, right? I buy a lot of units and I sell them on my website. And the last thing I want to do is put something out there that we're going to get a lot of returns on. I don't want to deal with that if I know there's an issue right off the bat. So I reached out to them and they said, please hold off. Basically, my shipment's on the way right now. And they said, please hold back on those things. We are addressing the bottle issue right now. We're working on a bunch of different variations to see what we can come up with. The difference between the bottle type from the SV3 to the Pro V3, the SV3 was PET. Now, I can't remember what that actually stands for, but this bottle is PETG with a glycol additive to it. Now, the problem with that is, man, it's so confusing. If you look online, there are a bunch of websites that talk about the durability and benefits of each between PET and PETG. Half of those websites say that PETG is more durable than PET. The other half of those websites say the complete opposite. They say PET is more durable than PETG. Now, I did talk to the factory, and they stated their recommendation to them was that PETG was going to be a better choice, an upgrade to the PET. I personally recommend or just wish that they had made HDPE. That's what's on the Pro V2. But I will say, MJJC, my communications with them has been nothing but great. They realized there's an issue with this bottle. I already talked to them. I said, for all the units that I ordered, can I get replacements for these? Because I know I'm going to have issues. It's going to break on people. They said, absolutely. We're working on new bottles now. We're going to get those out to you. They're doing everything they can to make sure this is the product that they had intended for. Again, they held back the release date forever because the paint wasn't properly adhering. And it's just a shame that there was no drop test done, right? Again, it's a piece of equipment. You shouldn't drop your equipment, right? Imagine your polisher, your car detailing, and you push your polisher to the side. That thing drops. There's not going to be a warranty to that, right? If you break it from a drop, that's not necessarily the manufacturer's fault. However, there is a bar that is expected, right? And first drop, like with me on this thing, first drop, and it broke. It's just not there. Again, MJJC, the factory, understands that. They're working to rectify the problem. Again, I have a bunch of units coming, but they told me, hang on, let's sort out this bottle situation and get it right. So with all that said, guys, I'm expecting the Pro V3 to be everything that we've hoped for. I've actually even talked to them about doing an additional bottle made from HDPE for those who want it. They can get that as a supplement. Once they again, for those that are worried about damage. Again, they're working on this bottle now and upgrading it and making sure it's not going to break on the first drop. They want it to be nice and robust. MJJC has a fantastic name within the foam cannon industry. Number one in my personal opinion, absolutely. So they don't, they're in this for the long term. They're not going to let this go and not address the issue. So hopefully an HDPE bottle will be coming, but with with all that said, this bottle, again, made with PETG, is being worked on currently in the factory. They're testing out different types of materials between the PET and the PETG to figure out exactly what is going to be best. So hopefully that all happens quickly. I told them, I don't care about the paint on this thing. It looks fantastic. I will say you can, like I did a scratch test on this, and you can actually feel here at the opening, you can feel an edge. It does not pull back. I did take a hard wrench to it, and I was able to scratch it, but it's not peeling back at all. It's perfect. So they did a fantastic job there. Again, the measurements are 100% perfectly spot on. The quick connect is incredible. The new stainless steel additives are great. Again, it's not all stainless steel. There are a couple little brass components, but again, longevity and wear should last even longer. So the head's built so well. It's just the bottle, and again, they are working to rectify that to make sure there's no issues moving forward. So I think probably what's going to happen is I don't know if they're still selling them on their site direct and then shipping them from overseas. I don't know if they're doing that. However, I know for me, I'm going to be holding off on selling my inventory when it finally does arrive until we get the bottle issue done. But overall, fantastic unit. Obviously, other than the bottle, which is it's not up to par. That's for sure. Shouldn't break on the first drop like that. Definitely shouldn't. For a professional grade unit like the Pro V2, again, don't drop your foam cannons. That's the ideal recommendation. Do not drop it. However, I think it's fair to expect that if it drops, it's not going to break on the first drop like this one did. So again, they're updating. Hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully that creates some clarification with it. For sure, when I saw Keev's video, again, his was the first one to come up, and he, like, right in the beginning, he drops it and it blows up empty. I was like, that's not good. That's not good at all, right? So, yeah, I've been in communication with the factory. They're working to sort it out. So stay tuned. I will update you guys as it comes up. As I hear from them, they actually said, give us to the end of the week. They're testing out a bunch of other things. We'll get an update then, at least to me. So if they do that and I do have an update, I'll update you guys as well and kind of keep you involved in the process. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I know it's kind of a bit of a bummer video. I've been waiting for this thing for so long. I was so excited for it. And now we're on pause again because of the bottle. So it is what it is, but thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we'll see you on the